Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iwan Maulana. Syntax in English. Syntax is the law of language that determines the word order, basic sentence structure within the different language. As language has specific syntax that tell the speaker and the listener which parts of the sentence conflict to have the max sense of what's being said. It is the guideline we use when speaking and writing so that different are understandable and concerned by. Be wary of confusing syntax or semantic with diction. This from the backbone of sentence construction, so let's break this definition down. Syntax, as just mentioned, is the order of the words in a sentence. Diction is the specific word choice made and to express certain meaning. Semantic is the meaning conveyed by particular word as well. We'll be focusing on syntax for this video. In the English language, there is a word order that is set in stone for most types of sentence. Of course, they are always expanded, but most the time standard English sentence will follow an SVO order: subject, verb, object, as in the boy looks outside in the window. In this example sentence, we have the subject, the boy, verb, look, and the object, outside. This image of English grammar syntax by linguists the plot structure of sentence. You may not often encounter a syntax tree, but knowing how to draw one is rather useful. Will have you understand sentence structure. In the cards, you can see that the sentence is broken down into the parts: verb, noun, article, and preposition. After this step, the words are grouped together to determine which parts of the sentence are noun parts, propositional parts of the verb parts. Fun fact: SVO is the not only order structure, order language very words order often include addition component. Is the syntax in the example given with the syntax tree. The subject is cat, the verb is sat, and the object is the mat. The second picture is another way in which sentence can be written out. This diagram takes the sentence "the dogs love the grill," and the break is down into article the noun and verb v, and the article the noun and verb v, noun plus np, and verb plus vp. Just like the previous example in this sentence, the subject is dog, the verb is love, and the object is grill. Again, the syntax tree are not to be imitating, but are to better understand the structure of the sentence and the refer as parts proper with the sentence. And additional use for syntax tree is the whatever and different words, different order used sentence. It can be decoded by casting. Orthing is out like example, but for example, if you hearing a sentence in the foreign language that follow as VSO order or same order variation, creating a syntax tree for the sentence can help you to put all the words as in SVO order so that makes understand what's being said. Let's have recaps. 1. Syntax is the sentence structure. 2. Diction is the choosing of the words to highlight or contain meaning. 3. Semantic is the meaning that's expressed from the words used. 4. Syntax theory are the neat graphing tool to create sentence structure and make sense of the word order, how it's functioning in the word English. Thanks for joining video as the syntax tutorial. If you found this video to be helpful, check out the rest of our channel for additional help. See you next time. Next, what is coronavirus? For almost decades, scientists, yes, of course, of the deadly news virus thrown China into mountain and most isolated government the finalists found in its here in the beds of Projecf. The virus in question was coronavirus that caused an epidemic of the acute respiratory syndrome observed in 2003. Coronavirus are the group of virus covered in little protein spikes that look like a crown of corona in Latin. There are hundreds of known coronavirus, 7 of them infect humans and can cause deaths. The coronavirus SARS-CoV, kosher MERS, and SARS-CoV-2 cause in this COVID-19 of the 7 human coronavirus for cause called milk contain infection of the nose and throat to affect the lungs and cause more severe illness. The 7 which cause COVID-19 has feature of as is spread easily but can severely impact the lungs. When an infected person can directly contain the virus spread out, the virus infects a new person when it's their flesh enter their nose or mouth. Coronavirus transmits best in the enclosed space where people are close together. Cold whatever keeps the gland causing from drying out, enabling the virus to surface for linkage between hosts. While UV, the exposure from sunlight makes it. The essential variety matter for stable various bats because not one is yet immune to a new virus. It has so many potential hosts that doesn't need ideal conditions to spread it. In the body, the proteins peak enable the host cell and force with them enable the virus eject the host cell maturing to reflect its own genes. Coronavirus store their genes of RNA. All the virus are actor and in a virus or DNA virus are in a virus to be smelled with whatever gains, meaning the infects many hosts and replicate quickly in those hosts. In general, RNA virus don't have a proofreading matching the DNA virus do. So when RNA virus replicates, is much more likely to have mistake called mutation. Many of these mutations are the useless or the harmful, but some make the virus better with certain environment, like a new host species. Epidemic often occur when a virus jumps from animal to human. This true or RNA virus the cause in the Ebola, Zika, SARS epidemic and the COVID-19 pandemic. Once in human, the virus still mutates, usually not known to create a new virus, but known to create variation. The strain of the original one coronavirus have a few key different from most RNA virus. The sum of large, meaning they have the most genes, that creates more opportunity for harmful mutation. The contrast, the risk coronavirus have the unique feature and enemies that check for replacement error and the correct mistakes that makes coronavirus much more stable. with slow motion rates than other RNA virus. While, while this may sound format, the slow motion oral architecture of promotion thing when it's come the terminating term after infection, our immune system can regoging them and destroy them quickly if they infect us again so they don't make us sick. But machine can make a virus less recognizable to our immune system and therefore more likely to fake off. They can also make antiviral drugs and the vaccine less effective because they're very specially to a virus. That's why we need a new flu vaccine every year. The influenza virus mutates so quickly that strain pop constantly, so the slower mutation rates coronavirus mean our immune system drug and vaccine may be able to recognize them for longer after infection and therefore person infected. Still, we don't know long our body remain immune to different coronavirus. There has never been a approved treatment of vaccine or coronavirus. We haven't focused on treating of one cause cough and center began developing treatment for SARS and MERS. The epidemic ended before those treatment complete client trial. As as we continue now to animal habitat, some scientists say a new coronavirus jumping to human is inevitable, but if we investigate, there's no indication to doesn't have to be devastating. Next, what is nation? Meaning of nation? Nation define. Nation explaining. Define of nation. What is a nation? The attempts to formally define the nation as the political concept that's back to when French philosopher and historian Ernest Reiner published the Hasminal essay titled "What is Nation?" In this essay, Reiner defends the nation as a large-scale solidarity conceptually by the feelings of sacrifice that one met in the past of the thoughts the one aspirates to make in the future. This explains why Renal believes that that is we are to image the nation as good to proxy of continuous sacrifice we must have realized are to image the nation as good worthy of the continuous carry we must reality that the naturally enters a process of forgetting this because foreign they are efforts this obstination anti-acts in the name of civic or ethnic nationalism interfere acts of the violence and subsequent forgetting based on the internal concept of nation. Development by renowned scholars have come up with more formal definition of nation, namely a community of people formed on the basis of a combination of several features, such as lineage, history, ethnic, culture, and theory, but differently. A nation is the collective identity of group of people understand as different by language, history, ethnicity, culture, and theory, and for this reason a nation is generally more overtly politic than ethnic group. In fact, many scholars consider it as full mobilizer of institutionalized ethnic group. Later on, the famous political scientist Benedict Anderson view a nation and imaginary community. For Anderson, the nation is imaginary political community that culturally image as both in their home limits or sovereign, as we can see three as key element in the definition. First, the nation is imaginary simple because member of many particular nation will never most of their fellow member, yet in the main as live image of the communication. Second, the nation is the image nation because it have finite yet something else is boundaries beyond which of the nation is the story of nation image as sovereign because that concept of the nation itself was born in an age when its enlightenment and revolution we are destroying and legitimacy of definitely order hierarchical real. Finally, the nation image our communication because recall of actual in its explaining this purview which as the nation is concept as different horizontal commandership. Thank you.